So the Big Smoke was a event that we were looking forward to, October 30th in New Orleans. It was a Legends Big Smoke hosted by Carl Malone, and the idea behind that was to have 25 cigar and food vendors combined, do a little education on cigars, as well as just getting the community more open to our products, open to us, and have a little fun doing it. And sad to say, but it's been postponed because of COVID. But we're looking forward to doing it again next year, April, and ramping up. And hopefully by then we'll have a couple more talent with us besides just Carl. We're looking at a couple other celebrities jumping off their products as well.
Yeah, I was really excited about it. I think it's going to be a big opportunity to network. We had plans on, Bloody Mary contest to advertise different businesses and restaurants and really get the state involved and highlight some different vendors and partners. So it's postponed, but not completely gone away.
Are you allowed to say any of the names that might potentially be involved?
Not yet, but stay tuned. It's coming.
We'll have a follow-up podcast.
Yeah, it's coming pretty fast.
Hell yeah, that's awesome, man. I know Carl's going to be excited about that too.
Yeah, we're looking at I'll give you a couple of hints. We're looking at a cigar to extend the Legends line.
Okay.
And for those not familiar with the Legends line, it's right here. The Carl Malone Barrel Aged. It's made by La Aurora from the Dominican Republic. They're the original cigar factory in the DR, established in 1903. So they got a history, so do we with that.
Okay.
And we're looking to add at least 3 or 4 more Legends just to grow the product, grow our line, and grow our company.
Makes sense, yeah.
So,
that's awesome, man. That's super exciting. I can't wait to find out what those names are.
that's good. You guys will be first to know. Yeah.
So we'll be the first, and then I'll find out. That's awesome. So what all does PF, just for those that don't know, what all do you guys sort of manage in terms of your distribution?
Okay, so PF Importers was started in 2018 by Carl and myself, and the goal was to import our cigars mainly, and then as we went down the process of starting our company, our Ileana Menez rum was introduced. And the way this happened was Carl went down, I want to say probably 6-7 years ago now, to grab a cigar. And that's exactly what he thought was going to happen. A celebrity going to go down, always wanted a cigar, meet somebody, get a wrapper, done, see it. La Aurora doesn't work that way. So La Aurora wants to be able to create a family atmosphere first, make sure the person that they're dealing with loves and has a passion for what they're trying to create. They just don't label cigars and give them to everybody else. And you see a lot of celebrities in our industry that'll do that, especially at the large trade shows in Las Vegas. You'll see like a guy coming through, and then everybody looks at him, you never see him again.
Right.
Because it's not a hobby, it's not a business for him, it's not a passion. So as Carl was down there, like he likes to say, when in Rome, do as the Romans. And every time that they would do a blending, the rum was on the table. So Carl just became passionate about the rum, got tired of bringing it into the country, not able to buy it here, and decided, let's take a shot at, being distributors.
Yeah.
So at that point, we went national. I'm originally from Queens, New York. I lived a lot of my life in New Jersey. I had a great connection with a company called Fedway. Great people, great distributor. Independent market, which means there's no large national distributors in there, right? So the money aspect kind of goes away, and I'll dive into that a little bit as we go. Had a connection, got our rum in. We did about 175 cases within 3 months. And bottle signings, the whole dog and pony show. Of our Ileana Menez. Yeah. Up north, it retails for about $125. In Louisiana, we're lucky, it's about $79 to $89 per bottle.
Right.
And so at that point, we did New Jersey, we did Georgia, a little bit of Utah, Idaho, and then Louisiana. So Louisiana, we went with a small distributor, and basically they weren't able to produce what we thought we would be able to do with them. They weren't able to follow up with deliveries. They were playing pricing games, stuff like that. And we decided to part ways. And in doing so, we created PF Importers' next project, which would be a craft distributorship in the state of Louisiana. And the point behind this is that when you go with a large distributor, such as a Republic National or Southern Glazers, their portfolio is probably this big, 10,000 SKUs in it. So you'll have brands that'll come in and, Southern represents us, and they get all excited. The backstory is, working for Republic National is that they give you the dog and pony show at the beginning, and then it just disappears. Unless you put a ton of money into marketing and basically paying for their sales guys incentive-wise, your brand gets lost. Because if they're going into a store and they have Tito's in their bag or Crown Royal in the South, it's an easy landing spot for their sales guy to make the commissions on those bigger brands. Our company is founded on helping the little guys get exposure. Our portfolio is probably not going to exceed 300 SKUs on the spirit side. For the reason of I want all my sales guys to go out and represent the brands properly, and nothing gets lost in the sauce of a bigger portfolio or a goal-driven portfolio. Right. So we cut the ribbon October 1st of last year. We're in over 300 accounts now, which I think is pretty impressive. Yeah. Starting out small. Right. We were able to get a bunch of cool brands with us. And if you don't mind me.
Well, I was going to ask, tell us about some of the brands and some of the backstories on them.
Okay, so our first brand that we've had is our Ileon Jimenez rum, which is this one here. And this is made by La Roar again to pair with all their cigars. They make about 2,500 6-packs a year. So the biggest thing is that when we go sell this to people, they say, oh, it's expensive. You're right, it is expensive. And it's not for everybody. It's for that connoisseur that enjoys the experience they're going to have pairing the rum and the cigar. You know, when my biggest sales pitch to when we do our large pitches to the big distributors is, I'm creating an experience for you. And what I mean by that is, let's say, you know, you go on vacation, you get a bottle of rum that's a national leading brand, and you pound that. Hey man, when I'm on vacation, what am I looking at? What do I remember? I remember going out and getting drunk and hanging out with my buddies, right? Right. If you sit down with this and a cigar, I want you to remember, oh yeah, we were smoking that cigar, this rum, in this location, and it resonates with everybody. Right. You know, that father son experience. Yeah. You know, an engagement with your friends. Cigars are a big celebration thing. Sure. You know, we want that to be enjoyed with a craft product made for your cigar, as well as a rum that's a quality rum that's just not for cigars. And the reason why I'm going there is, you know, 2020. So when we brought the product in, a lot of pushback you'll get is, oh, it's just another celebrity throwing their bottle, their name on a bottle, and trying to move the product that way. So to separate that, we went into the San Francisco Spirits Competition. And in my opinion, it's the best award you can get on top of the chain. Right. And the reason why is you send your bottle in basically naked. There's no labels, there's no attachments to anything. They take the juice out of your bottle, they put it into a testing tube. There are 5 sommeliers, I guess they would be referred to. They all judge it with nothing in front of them. If they give it a gold medal, and all 5 give it a gold medal, it's a double gold, and that's the highest medal they give out. Right. So lucky enough, we were able to achieve that medal. That's awesome. And that separated our brand from just being a Karl Malone ambassador brand to being something that stands on its own in the marketplace up against any of the competition out there. So, and then we started slow. We're not doing what everybody else does and throw money at it and force it down your throat. We want it to happen organically, where liquid to lips, people become a following to it and gravitate towards the product. Yeah, oh yeah. So
that's super dope.
After Ileon Jimenez, I had a couple of buddies of mine that are good buddies now, up in New Jersey, and they represent a brand called Penelope, which is this one here, and that one's still with the gentleman's shoulders.
Which I'm trying right now.
Yes. So they have a great story also. Their bottle's named after their daughter, Penelope, and they started out 2 guys in Jersey just hustling, grinding it out. That's true to my heart because that's my background as well. Now they're in about 20 to 25 states. They were in the top 100 spirits in the Wine Enthusiast magazine, and their stuff flies to the point where Walmart reached out to us to make a deal for them. Right. And you don't see that every day. Yeah. Right. So after that, we the family here has a little a passion for Anchorage in Alaska, so we were able to source this product here, which is Anchorage Distillery. They do phenomenal products with pure Alaskan glacier water, which obviously only one person's done. Right. So another brand that's kicking butt. I won't curse on you just yet, but Walmart's got those guys. Total Wine, the Berkshire's group is. I'm hoping to get them on board, and same thing with Rouse's down in South Louisiana. Yeah. And then last but not least on our list here will be our Legends Trinity vodka. So this one's near and dear to my heart because I had a big deal with putting the labels together for it and just the marketing. So did Quinten. So this is made for Louisiana, and it's 100% a Louisiana product. The Trinity, bell pepper, sweet onions, and celery. It's the base of all Creole and roux, as I was told. I'm a city kid from New York, but that's what I was told. And so we had a chance to sample this down at the 1933 Local-Ruston Distillery. And if I can pronounce the name of the street they're on, I tell you to go there. It's Chapalo or something like that?
Chapatulas.
Yes. Jerry Christian is the guy who runs the distillery. Great friend, part of our family now. We tasted about 15 of his products. And as we were getting ready to leave, he goes, hey, I got one more thing to show you. I was like, all right, so let's go at it. Something I've been, it's my 25th year in the industry. Never seen anything quite as unique as that flavor.
Yeah.
It literally tastes like peppers, onions, and celery. If I yell it out, you'll taste it, and you'll be able to pick up on it. So I was like, all right, this is unique. I'm taking a bottle with me. And our sales manager, Miguel Castro, we go to our next account, which is a large supermarket chain in Baton Rouge. And he pulls the bottle out on accident. And the guy goes, hey, well, hold on, I want to try it. Wants to order 10 cases on the spot.
Nice.
But the product's not ready yet. It's got a logo that we weren't really happy with. There's really no marketing behind it. And we said, okay, that's one for one. Let's go 7, 8 more places. And sure enough, we were 100% on sales. Everybody tasted it. They wanted it for their Bloody Marys for brunch. So now I know we got something.
Right.
And at this point, the heads went to work. That big Quinten's reading, research, and we put the big state of Louisiana on it because we're proud that it's from here. Our Legends logo's on the back because we want to make sure everybody knows where it's coming from. And then we introduced that little mascot.
Yeah.
And if you guys can do a close-up on that.
Yeah. I'll put that on too.
Yeah. So our mascot is a tribute to the voodoo culture down in New Orleans. And it's pretty wild. I think it's pretty cool. We got some fun with it during Mardi Gras parties, trade shows, and whatnot. So
and he will be present at those.
yeah, I got a feeling someone in this camera is going to be wearing a costume. So yes, that's just the idea of what our products are and why we started PF Importers.
Yeah, that's awesome. Just the principle behind it. I didn't realize all the backstory of that. That's it's kind of one of those things where you don't necessarily invest in or buy into a product, you buy into the people too behind it. It's quick and easy to say, I just want to jump on something, but hearing all that, that's a really cool story behind all of it, honestly. I've had all of them except the gin. The rum, you can just sip on by itself. Awesome. I'm a big bourbon guy. The Penelope is fantastic. And the vodka, first time I told him, I was like, I just thought the vodka was like a regular vodka. It was just a Louisiana thing. I was like, damn, I feel like I'm drinking damn near a Bloody Mary by itself. But yeah, so that's, I'm not a Bloody Mary drinker, but I can see what that would be perfect.
And it's good for cooking as well.
Yeah,
We got a little cooking show that we're going to be rolling out that highlight how to use it, the midday stuff too. So that's going to be 3 ways to use it, kind of way we look at and incorporate the story behind it.
And to go along with the Miss K thing, we have a Miss K's Bloody Mary, which is Kay Walker's Bloody Mary. And it's a phenomenal product. I wish I had it here, we sold out of it. So it's a craft product that retails about $9.99. Brookshire's is getting ready to put their first order in for it. And it's a Ruston flair. That means a lot to me. I'm from Queens, New York. This very room that we were in is where me and Carl signed our deal to be a company. So this is near and dear to me here. Everybody in Ruston has been welcoming to myself and my family and our friends. And our tribute back to them is that our signature Bloody Mary on our website is called the Rustonian, just to get everybody to come back and remember where we started from.
Bring it full circle.
Yeah, you literally only need those 2 items, the vodka and the mix. And it's, you don't have to add no spices, nothing else. You can dress it up if you want to, but it's a solid combo, absolutely.
That's awesome. Do you have any other new products coming down the pipeline potentially?
Yeah, so I get probably 15 to 20 products a week that come by our desk. And we have to vet it, make sure that they're a place that we could, make sure we cover their bases for them too.
Sure.
You know, I just don't say yes to everything because I know that we can't support certain things in this market. It just doesn't work. You know, we had just turned down a large champagne there because of price.
Really?
You know, and it's not fair for them to come in and, you know, not be able to turn cases.
Right.
You know?
Right. And that's just knowing the market.
Yeah, and the biggest thing that we look for is, I understand that not everybody's got their business together. You know, but if I see passion in what they're doing, and they have skin in the game with us, then I jump at it.
Right.
You know, because that's us. That's how we started with our product.
Right.
I understand we got a team that's been together for a long time, but ultimately, you know, we're starting on the bottom here and we're working our way up. You know, and the way to do that is with integrity, hard work, and dedication. So if someone comes to me and says, "Hey Tim, we got, you know, this brand that we think that's going to work," the first thing I do is ask them for the price and the sales sheet and a sample. I give it to our guys. We hit the street with it. See if we can generate some pre-sales. I ask them who they got in the market with us because I want somebody in the foxhole to push some cases. My goal to them is that I promise you that every person that goes out on our team will present their products at retail. Right? Our job is to be distributors. I get it on the shelf. It's up to the juice in the bottle to move it, or you guys to come in and move it marketing-wise.
Right.
So, you know, basically I get that from where I started, where that's all I was looking for when I entered a new market. So we do our products nationally. Our rum, the rest of the 1933 portfolio, and our Legends Vodka is national products that we represent across the country. So when I first go into a new state, I'm looking for what I'm asking for here. You know, I have my team in place. We're going to go and we're going to kick ass and make some connections for it in places where it needs to be.
Sure.
And then if it doesn't move, I understand why. It's our product.
Sure.
Right.
You know, control your own destiny, basically.
100%.
So going back to the family aspect, what's the story behind you and Carl? How'd y'all meet? You know, give us that background.
So I met Carl. I'll fumble through this one. About 5 years ago. I'll start from the beginning. So when I was 21 years old, I was a basketball player. A little overweight for that now, but back then I was a stud, right? And I had my first drink when I was 21. Never smoked a cigar in my life. I was baking bread at a local supermarket in Jersey. Realized I keep getting hurt playing basketball. It's probably time to put that away, right? So walked across the street from the bakery I was working like 10 hours a week because they didn't have anything else to give me. I thought there was a supermarket across the way. I was like, oh, maybe they got something for me. I walked in, it was a liquor store. Okay, well, the guy wanted to hire me for 20 hours. I worked 20 hours my first week and about 50 every week after. And I made the way. So within a year, I was the manager of the place. And I decided I fell in love with the products. I fell in love with what I was doing. Someone believed in me, which was even bigger.
Right.
So from there, the company was called A&P Liquors. If you're from the Northeast, you'll know. It was the oldest supermarket chain in the country. And it failed, ultimately. They didn't innovate, so they went away. As we saw the writing on the wall, I was able to make a connection with the guys over at Fedway to become a merchandiser, which is a huge step back from where I was making. I was making good money, and now I'm making entry-level job. But the idea is to get to a sales position or a manager's position.
Right.
So 2008, I believe that was, I made the jump. 2007, sorry. 2008, we all know what happened. Market crashes.
Right.
Everybody's in a world of hurt. So now suddenly my whole idea of being a salesperson is gone. Because they're not bringing salespeople on because no one knows the uneasy markets and all that. So my 1 year turned into 4 years of merchandising.
Oh.
And as I was doing that, I was a bar back in the security and a bartender in Hoboken, working probably 75 hours a week between that. I went back to A&P to close the door for them once in a while before they were out of business. And then from there, got my first sales job. Was a field manager first for like 6 months. Ended up getting a sales job. Did that for about 10 years. And my wife got transferred to Atlanta. So at this point, literally in tears, I told my sales manager that I can't work here anymore.
Right.
So I would stay there for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
But we got to go.
Right.
Moved to Atlanta, get a job working for Republic National in Atlanta. Did a year and 2 months. And my wife goes to me one day, she goes, Tim, you're killing yourself. Go work for yourself. Huge part of my life where I needed to understand, okay, she's got my back, and I'm going to go and make this work. I opened up a company called Cigar and Spirits Consulting. We did good bar rescue without me yelling, because that's just for the TV.
Right.
If you ever yell at a bar guy, they'll kick you out and your contract stops right then and there. So did that for about 6 months. And that started in April. I met Carl in Vegas in July, the first week of July, I think it was, for 2 minutes. Now, I'm not an awestruck person, right? So celebrity doesn't drive me. My partner in my business at the time was all about it. So he actually made the connection for me and Carl through a guy named Nathan that was working for Carl. So with me, September, I get a phone call from my partner Dennis at the time, and he goes, "Tim, man, we got to go to Local-Ruston. They're looking for help with, building this cigar." Okay, whatever. I don't believe it because show me something. That went away for another month. End of October, I get another phone call. "Tim, we literally have to go. Let's go." All right, we drove out. I met Carl, sitting right where Quinten sitting. Carl sitting right here, and we went eye to eye on stuff. Where Carl's a great guy, so we had to find out about each other, how if we're good for each other.
Right.
And I remember one point, Carl's looking at me. I'm like, "Hey, Carl, I'm looking at you the same way you're looking at me. we gotta figure, if it's gonna work out, we gotta work out together."
Right.
So away we go. Right. So that weekend was when we realized that our rum was going to join our team. And Carl basically goes, "Listen, we're going to have a company, and we're going to kick ass. We're going to put this all over the country." At that point, I took a deep breath. I said, "All right, here's life's plan for me." At that point, we were looking at doing these huge events for my other company for the Super Bowl in Atlanta. Put everything on pause. We're going to do this. We're going to kill it. President Trump shuts the government down. End of December. Every TTB, which is our way to get our licensing for importing, freezes. So now we're out of the rum business for the first 6 months. So the joke with us is that every time we do something good, step back. So we were dormant for about a month and a half, and we lost one of our members of our team. And then Carl and I had a little recommitment to each other, and then we started really kicking ass. So at that point, the TTB restrictions came off. We were allowed to get our product into the country. And then before, like I told you, the projection of what had happened. To tie into that little step forward, step back, we do this great deal. We get into Nevada, Southern Glazers, biggest liquor distributor in the country. And now, if you put two and two together, you know how I feel about those guys, from what I said at the beginning. Right? We get our product, we, as in our team, gets the product on the Vegas Strip. We're in the MGM Top Club, Hakkasan, whatever it's called. We're at the Westgate Hotel and the Sahara Hotel. 5 days later, COVID shuts the entire strip down. And there goes our entire, efforts.
Right.
But we pick it up, we keep it moving. And then gradually as we came here. But Carl's a true friend of mine. I believe in him. I hope he still has belief in me. And we go to work hard for each other. And that's a huge thing with our group, is that we work for each other. And what I mean by that is I'm not selfish. I go to work to make sure that Miguel's family's okay, Katrina, KJ, the entire team we have. I want to see growth. Knowledge is power unless you don't share it.
Right.
So anything I know, I try to give to somebody. Because if you die with it, some people hold on to the codes, and you're only as good as you are.
Yeah, and
if I give
codes die with you.
Yeah, if I give to everybody and everybody knows what they're doing, then everybody gets to eat.
Right.
And that's what we're trying to do. We're grinding it out. In our industry, we hear no 90% of the time. It's not no, it's just not right now.
Sure.
You gotta have thick skin, make connections, and you'll be fine. I had guys ask me a couple of times about resumes. So I sat in a job interview. I said, my biggest resume is this. Pulled my phone out and handed it to the guy. I said, "Here's my customer list. Call any customer and ask them. You choose." All my customers were family to me.
Right.
I still go to their functions, their family functions. I haven't sold a bottle of liquor in Jersey in almost 10 years now. But text, "Hey man, I got a question. What do you think? Should I buy this?" Well, I'll tell you what the trend is, and I know.
Right.
Help them out. It's all about networking. It's being human. Do the right thing.
Yeah. Yeah, Kylie's unloaded right there. So many things to take from that story, man. That's awesome. I'd say persistence is an understatement, but the whole family. We say damn near conversation we have, you know, the high tide raises all boats. You know, it's the same thing. There's no point in me holding an idea or something I know in from him and vice versa, you know, or anybody that we network with. Same thing with you guys. You know, proof's in the pudding. You know, Q's been that guy for a lot of people I know working with you guys. He's just, you know, he's a phenomenal asset to have in your family, you know. So that's awesome, man. I didn't know. I just knew Carl was involved with you guys. You know, I'm not from here, so just being able to time with Q and being able to hear all that though is man, it's powerful. It's inspiring, man. A lot of people that have probably had his cigars or rum and didn't know that background. So that's super dope. You remind me of it. You might appreciate this. You know who Gary V is.
Yeah.
Gary Vaynerchuk.
I used to work with him.
Are you shitting me?
No.
Bro, I've been following that cat for that. Really? So, well, you said Jersey, but even that initial part of your story, I was like, that's Gary V in a nutshell. Right?
So him and his dad, Sasha, I think his name was.
Yeah, Abbott Wine.
They run the wine library up in Springfield.
Yeah. That's exactly where my mind went when you started talking.
But and to his thing too, the biggest thing in life, and I'm not going to get too crazy on my soapbox, but is people conform to the word no.
Sure.
Right? They see a celebrity, see somebody with money, and they're like, "Oh, that's just because they're a celebrity and they have money." Took them. There's a reason why they got there,
Sure.
right? And if we conform to the word no all the time and try to be average, you're going to get average results.
100%.
You know, so I'll kick your coverage once in a while. I'm not saying to go in debt and kill your whole family, but hey, man, I don't like riding roller coasters. Get on the roller coaster.
Right.
You never know what's going to happen. Like, hey, man, okay. You know, take a shot on something. You know, I've taken many shots. I had a tough upbringing when I was younger. And my personal mantra is, if my life could be so shitty when I was younger, why can't it be so great when I have control of it now?
Yeah.
So just make sure that you're always set your own bar. I read a book called Relentless, and I forgot the guy's name that wrote it. He trained Michael Jordan. Right. And they talk about the closer, the cleaner, and then the I forget the last one. But there's three different parts of the book, and the goal is to be a little bit of everything, you know. And the cleaner's part, which I think I gravitate towards most, is that he's going to get the job done no matter what. He's going to be relentless, and he's not going to celebrate it either because he doesn't know how. So with me, my goal and my drive in life is to say, all right, so if I'm going to hit a 10, well, what's up with number 11?
Right.
You know, I can do 12 now. Let's just keep it moving, keep it going, keep it growing.
Sure.
Because to do that, if I didn't have that in me, none of this would have happened. Because build your own distributor from scratch is almost impossible.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but we worked our asses off to do what we're doing now.
Absolutely, you earned it.
And we're going to go and take a piece of the steak and go have fun with it.
Oh,
Just getting started.
And the best thing is that we have guys coming for the ride with us. And I'm going to shout you guys out because you're on the ride with us right now. And I appreciate you guys letting me give you my little rant right now.
Hell yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
That's what this is for.
It's a reoccurring thing. Keep saying we talk about burn the ship, and that's what you did. I mean, you had your wife say, "Hey, you know, burn that ship, move forward, don't look back." And kind of the second thing that's been reoccurring today is just do it.
Yep.
If you don't ever just step out and take that risk and just do it, you're always just going to talk about it. You know, so that's something.
If you don't answer the question, it's always no.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we're, you know, so many different situations, people with business and they're scared to make that step, or even when they start a business and they keep talking about what they're going to do next and they never do nothing. It's like, take that step. You won't know. Failure is part of success, so it's okay to fail. That's a learning, pivotal moment to build upon and become resistant, you know?
I was going to say, people are afraid of a no because they think of no as a failure, but no should just be, hey, that's information for me to take back home and sit down and put my pen to paper. And how do I pivot? How can I adjust? Was it good information? Was it valuable information? You know, at the end of the day, and we said this earlier with, I think it was Rick, the only 100% guarantee is it's not going to work if you don't give it a shot.
Yep.
Right? So, I mean, burn the shit, man. At the end of the day. So.
Yeah, just take no as a one level of mitigation, right? So if it's a no, then that's something you need to mitigate. You know what I mean? And then that's just part of the business plan that just creates that undeniable factor of success that, you know, gets you to that point, you know, because it's experience based, you know. There's no manual that says this is how you start a liquor company from scratch, because I guarantee you every one of them have a different story of how they got there, you know, so it's customized.
How I want to ask, you you brought up something that made me think. When I was an engineer for Chevron for a while, about 6 years, and when I quit, I probably had 4 or 5 people who had been there for a little while, but all of them had at least a wife. Most of them had kids too. They're like, man, I envy you. Like, I want to be doing. I have this idea that I want to pursue, but you got the security of a pension plan and all this other stuff with Chevron and good money or whatever. How pivotal was it for you to hear your wife say, "Hey, go do this. I got your back"? I mean, because I can guarantee you, there's plenty of people that are in that same situation with their current job or whatever, and it. I'm not married, but I can't imagine having a support like that. And not you didn't go to her. From what it sounds like, you didn't go to her. She came to you and was like, "Hey, this is what you need to do." How important and pivotal was that for you?
For my wife's my life, no joke, 100%. So for her to give me that blessing was basically, you ever watch Rocky, where Adrian says, "Win." That's perfect where it is right there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And you'd be surprised what you do when you don't have a safety net. How good you get at what you got. And you'd be surprised when someone relies on you, how much more you perform.
Sure.
So I can relate to that athletically. And then in business, we have a lot of employees now in our company that work and depend on me to do my job. So like I said in the beginning, I don't go to work for myself. I got to make sure everybody else is okay at the table.
You wouldn't for everybody else.
And then if they grow, then obviously I'm going to grow too.
Sure.
And we're all going to ride the ship together.
Yeah. That's so awesome.
But it's, again, it all ties back into don't put yourself in a box,
right?
Because then you're going to live in a box your whole life. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you want something extra,
right,
you got to take the shot. The other big thing is learn something new every day.
Yeah.
I'm a big Jim Valvano guy. If you guys are familiar with him, he has a lot of speeches about, if I get to think, cry, and, for a day, it's a full day.
Sure.
If I don't teach myself something new every day, I'm doing myself a disservice and the people around me.
Nice.
So we have these conversations where, tell me something about yourself. Let me, I've seen Carl do it in interviews. The guy who's like, "Oh, I'm a fan. Oh, who are you? I want to know who you are."
Yeah.
It's not about me.
Right.
I don't talk a lot unless I'm around people I trust and I know.
right,
Because, I want to learn the most I can about other people and respect them also.
Sure.
And then if it's my turn to go, you guys know, I'll let it go.
Yeah.
right.
But it's about, learning, taking shots, calculated shots, and building a team around you that can support you, and then you can support them. I can't stress that enough. Miguel, I know Miguel's sitting back in the back of the room now, but I couldn't do any of this without him.
Yeah.
So,
That's a big shot.
but you'd be surprised how much of this stuff, like when I was doing my consulting company, I would walk into places, and the guy I was working with at the time was like, "Man, I hate these people. They don't know what they're doing." I was like, "Well, you realize that the more they don't know what they're doing, the better it is for us because we can help them."
Right.
And the way I built my sales run was with ethics. I wasn't going to sell somebody something I knew they couldn't move, because then it only helps one person, right? And ultimately, it kills
It's a short term.
It kills my relationship with them too,
Yeah.
right? Because every time I walk in, they're going to point to that thing and start selling,
Right.
So my start in my sales career was slow because I didn't pawn things off on everybody. But I won the game at the end because, hey, this guy's the guy that we go to that makes us money. Let's gravitate to him. He's not lying to me. He's not trying to pawn something off on me.
Yeah, so we talk. It's the long term play. It's a relationship based, and not just how do I move that needle today.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We're getting too caught up in the money side of things. It's the relationship. It's going.
Don't get me wrong. Those bottom lines.
There absolutely is. No, it's definitely a part of the equation. But if it's all about that, then you lose sight of everything else that's going to add value to that relationship. So, yeah, that's dope, man. That's super dope.
So one area I want to touch on, you kind of win. I think so. Me and Kyle talk about, that as in your position, you come to work. There's a lot of tables that are dependent upon you. From a business owner standpoint, we talk about this, recognizing the stresses of work. What are some of the things that you do to kind of keep yourself mentally sharp? Because I know all that can weigh on you, and mental health is a big thing that we talk about. And so anything particular you do to kind of help ease, what's your advices to kind of relax? I know keeping Tim strong is key for a lot of people.
So I struggle with this every day. I don't have the answer. Personally, what I try to do is my life was built on sports, so I try to use that. You never get too high, you never get too low. You try to ride the middle. In our company, there is no middle. It's always this, it's always this, right? And it happens every day, probably 30 times a day. But my position is I have to have the answer. Like going back to that Relentless book, when the oh shit button goes off and someone calls the oh shit guy, I have to answer the phone, right? So I always try to take a deep breath at that moment and say, okay, and just the way I was brought up was that always think of what your actions are going to cause the person you're talking to. Be conscious of everybody else, not you, right? So I'll calm people down. We had a big blow up in the office a couple of days ago. One person's doing their thing, the other person's doing their other thing, but hey, let's all get in the room and hammer it out. Biggest thing we do in our company is that if someone says something, and says another thing, speakerphone. All three of us are on a conversation, we all figure it out, give each other a hug, pick each other up, and we keep it going. Yeah. And it works beautifully.
That's awesome.
To finish the question up before I go off on it, I have high anxiety. Can't sleep at night. So I take CBD oil. And CBD oil was brought on to me by Katie Malone, which is Carl's daughter, a true friend of mine. She has her own CBD line, and I do tinctures, 1,200 milligrams. You go on her website, KatieMaloneCBD.com, I believe it is. And for me, it takes the anxiety off me before I go to bed at night, and it allows me just to relax and turn my brain off so I don't stew and just think all the time. Once in a while, I'll go for a run at the weight room, play golf, try to give a day just to, Miguel and I basically we kind of live together on the road now sometimes. So we have days where we kind of find each other for talking work. Like if anybody says anything about work, we're going to find each other. Like, no. Anybody else can bring it up, but if we talk to each other about it, you're paying for it.
Right.
Because we have to clear the mechanism for people who watch that for love of the game. Right. Like Kevin Costner, he clears the mechanism, he keeps pitching. So you're clearing your mind. Everybody needs a reset. You need an outlet to get rid of the stress.
So true. And it's easy, man. When you're like you said, when you're the oh shit person, right? It's like it's easy to push that burning yourself out limit with stress and anxiety. I deal with the same thing when you said anxiety. I mean, I wake up probably 3 or 4 times a week. I probably need to talk to you after this about what CBD is because I'm the same way. I'll wake up like, oh shit, I've got to do this. I need to do this, or a new idea pops up, and it's tough being in that space. But
just grind your teeth like me. Just stress it out. While you're sleeping. You don't even know what you're doing.
But everybody's got. I make the analogy all the time. I like to run towards the fire when everybody's running away.
Right.
And if you own your own business, you guys know. Everybody's got that in them.
Yeah.
It
doesn't stop. You have to make it. You have to step away because you're never gonna. I always say, "Oh man, I'm gonna wait till things slow down." Yeah. That's the biggest lie I tell myself all the time. Because even when it slows down, I go find something to do. I'm my worst enemy. So it's like sometimes you gotta stop. So I'll say like tomorrow we're gonna go play golf. Yeah. You want to join us? We're gonna go to for real. Because that's step away. We've had a busy last couple of days of trying to knock out stuff on the bucket list. So, you got to step out.
The other thing that's pretty cool, and I saw this the other day come by, Ernie Johnson from inside the NBA. He did a speech for Alabama's football team. And like the second part of it was a personal thing for him. But the first part was get to, got to. And what that is do I get to go to work or do I got to go to work? And for me, I get to go to work every day. I get to go and help my team get better. I get to go and have fun and do something that no one else is doing. People think we can't do.
Right.
The minute it becomes got to, I think I need to find something else to do.
Yeah.
Because then my passion's not going to be there anymore.
Yeah. Gary Vee, one word he uses a lot that has always stuck with me is I think there's a lot of power in it, but just having perspective, right? How you look at situations. It's easy to look at the half glass empty perspective, right? That's probably human nature, but you've got to, especially when you're in the position that that we're in, doing what we do on a daily basis. You got to have that positive perspective, or you'll drain yourself. So the get to mindset that's a good way to just it's full encompassing on everything that you have to deal with.
If you don't mind me touching on what you're saying right now, so It's trying to get the words for it. So when we had our sales team up in New Jersey, right, everybody was conformed to no and negativity, and misery loves company, they'll bring you down, right? So when we opened up down here, my vision was to break the mold of what was going on everywhere else. So everywhere else, they're saying they'll hire kids in the South, they hire kids out of college, and they throw a book at them and say, hey, sell these 100 products, or else what? Or else you're fired, or else you get a bad grade, you'll get a bonus, and they either burn them out, or they promote to management later. Why? Because then they're in charge of telling somebody to go do this, or else.
Yeah.
And it's a terrible Ponzi scheme they got going on.
Right.
So when I had guys from up north, was you could put water that will cure every disease in the world in front of them, and the first thing they'll say is, "Oh, it's not going to move. Can't sell it. Can't do this. Can't do that." Just automatically giving you every negative reason why they can't do it. You go into the manager's office, everything's shitty all the time, right? And it's physically impossible.
Yeah.
If the sun's out, it's a good day, right? At the minimum, right? So when people would come down here to work with us, the first couple of months would be kind of breaking them of their bad habits. Yeah. And they don't mean it on purpose, but they're conditioned to be like negative. I get a product, let's say we got a bourbon called Blue Falcon bourbon, right? Now, Blue Falcon's colorful for people who've been in the military. So if you haven't been in the military, you have no idea what I'm talking about. If you have, you understand. So I have a guy who works for us that's in the military, and his negativity was, hey, I can't sell that to only certain places, this, that, and the other thing. I was like, all right. So I picked the bottle up and I sold like 5 accounts for him. And it was like showing him how to like fire for the first time.
Right.
But there's a spot for everything.
Yeah.
Right? There's customers that we have out by Barksdale Air Force Base. Our entire Lincoln Parish Sheriff's Division, I think, drinks Blue Falcon every day.
Right.
Because it resonates with them. And the product is good. They give back to the military Wounded Warriors program. So they're actually donating back to people. That's the reason why they're with us. So the answer should never be no, ever in your life. It should be not right now, maybe, or no, but let's try something else.
Yeah.
And to resonate back to what I said before about being the bar rescue guy, about the yelling, let's say I walked into your store, right? John Taft would go in there screaming at you, oh, what the F is this, that, and fuck that, right? It takes a lot of stones for you to take the shot at being a business owner,
100%.
right? So I got to give you the respect for taking your shot. So if I walked in there and you said, hey, we do ice luges off the deer's nose, but it's not moving for us. I'm not going to say, no, you're a complete idiot, stop doing that. Okay, I understand what you're trying to do with that. Maybe you ever try doing it without the deer and like maybe in a glass, So it's an idea just to, I'm getting my point across without telling you to go screw yourself.
Right.
And not demeaning you.
Sure.
Same thing when you're doing a sales call. Oh, the rum's not for me. You're right, it's not for everybody. But I believe that your account can sell because I wouldn't have sold it to you unless I thought you could move it. Why? Because I came in with integrity at the point of sale.
100%.
A lot of people in our industry don't do that. It's terrible.
I feel like that's applicable to a lot of industries out there in today's world.
Carl makes the joke that he's in all the shitty businesses. Car dealer.
Right.
So alcohol, tobacco, it's all the things that are, but we changed that.
But he brings a different approach to each one of those things,
Yeah.
So.
And personally, I like to say that. Again, I'm not gonna. I don't. I tell my suppliers all the time. No offense, but your brand's my brand now.
Right.
Because I know you guys got to be successful also.
Right.
So if I don't treat it that way, we're all going to lose. And when I walk into an account, it's my account now. Right. It's my restaurant, it's my liquor store, whatever. Because I believe in you guys enough to be here with you. And if you do good, then I'm going to do good. And we're all going to have a good time doing it. I know my sales team guys probably hate me saying that, but I say that probably 10 times a day. But.
That's awesome. It's refreshing to hear people just living on those type of principles. It's super cool.
You sleep a lot better at night by doing that.
Got to, man.
Got to.
What is kind of the game plan to stick in the liquor cigar space? Are you looking to step out into, I don't know, beer? I'm sure that brings a whole other gamut of legalities and whatnot. But
So we looked into beer, and we're getting close to bringing it on.
Nice.
I don't want to be a beer house, like they would say, where there's 1,000 beers. We have a good relationship with King River Brewery down in Anchorage.
Yeah.
Justin's a good friend of ours, and we're looking to do business with those guys.
Right on.
And then a gentleman named Omar from up in Maryland, DMV area, has a beer called Fratello, which is made to pair with a cigar line. It's all cigars.
Right.
So he'll be joining us soon. I'm hoping by October, November, we'll be rolling this out. And with beer, there's territories. Fratello will have the whole state. With the King River, there's certain territories we can't go into because they're previous relationships.
Gotcha.
So
That's awesome. I didn't think about beers getting paired with cigars, but I guess shouldn't make anything happen these days.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's really cool.
So if somebody wants one of these brands and they're in Louisiana, if there's some of the places they can find, and if they can't find, obviously they need to go tell their store that they need these brands, and we'll put up where they can go, what website where those brands can go find PF.
So pfimporters.com is our website. You'll be able to find a lot of information on our company and our brands there. We're not technically allowed to sell direct to the public, so we have to use the licensed retailers. So the biggest thing that is, if you see something you like in our portfolio, 99 times out of 100, they'll have a website of their own with a store finder of where their products are. Locally in Ruston, we have great relationships with Discount Liquor over by the Tech Campus and the Keg, which is Seth's over here on the service road. Trios is a great place on premise. They pour our Anchorage gin. Might be visiting them tonight.
Trios?
Yes,
Yeah,
Trios in Ruston.
Okay.
Dax, we did a nice big deal with Dax with all their locations across the north. 4 of them. I believe it's Shreveport. I think there's 3 in Shreveport, 1 in Monroe, and 1 in Ruston. That's 5 then. Well, 2, 2, and 1. And then our Legends Trinity is a big thing also. We were looking to do a statewide Bloody Mary contest that got canceled by COVID. But you'll be able to find that at legendstrinity.com, and there's a product finder on there. And if you visit KMaloneCigars.com, it'll tell you the whole story about where we're at here. Basically recapping everything I said. There'll be a website where you can find our barrel aged by Malone cigars as well as our rum. So, and that's nationally for all our brands there.
Nice. The Bloody Mary contest, that was going to be at the Big Smoke.
Yeah, so we had it set up where it was going to be a dual event. Basically, we were cutting the state into 4 corners, making them 4 regions. If the account takes our product, that's an on-premise place, bar, restaurant, club, you'd be able to get a poster and then vote on their Bloody Mary. So let's say you go to Trios and you love their Bloody Mary, you click on their QR code and you cast a vote for them. Whoever had the most votes in their region would then go to the final 4 in New Orleans at the New Orleans Distillery. And then the award was given out on Friday night, but Saturday they were going to be part of the Big Smoke also. And actually receive the trophy and all that. But, you know.
Postpone.
Yeah, cool heads prevail. Everybody's got to be on. It's a little bit about the COVID virus. Just be smart. You know, I'm not going to tell you to get the vaccine or not, but respect people who wear the mask. That's my personal rule. I've been vaccinated. Wash your hands, be clean, and just respect each other. Let's not make it political.
Yeah.
Let's just try to read science and do the best by each other. That's the only way we're going to get through this, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Respect everybody.
Yeah.
For sure. It's okay to have different opinions, but at the end of the day, just have a little respect for each other, you know. Yeah. That's a whole different conversation we can have.
People are losing that a lot lately.
Oh my God, it's
losing
insane.
it a lot.
It's draining. Social media, all that bullshit.
That's the biggest part about it. I don't want to go down that road, but to me, the biggest part about our problem is that the media is pushing their agendas. You know?
I would agree wholeheartedly with that. I try to avoid it as much as possible. The media bullshit. Right. For sure. To me, it's super draining. A bunch of negativity.
Yeah.
I got
negativity sells.
It does. I got plenty of other bullshit to deal with. So.
You know, who's a good guy to watch on, I'm not a big social media guy, but Rex Chapman, he's an old basketball player.
Kentucky. I'm from Kentucky, so Rex.
So he had a colorful past, and he's turned it around 180, and now he's pushing positive things every day.
Good for him.
So if you go on his Twitter, I don't give him a plug right now, but you go on his Twitter, it's pretty inspirational.
Yeah, that's true. I was actually named after Kyle Macy, who played for Kentucky.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Yeah. Did you play college ball?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Where at?
I played at 3 different schools up in the Northeast.
Okay. That's
So
we
I never could get it right. So
We're avid basketball fans too, so we can talk about that all day too.
We still try to play.
Yeah, we get out
well, that's
there.
good, man. That's what it's all about.
Yeah,
You
we
know?
get out there.
Get some exercise and all that.
Get a little work in. So. Well, cool. Well, I don't know anything else y'all have going on that y'all want to plug or push. We'll definitely put all y'all's information.
I want to plug and push you guys.
Yeah, well, I'll say look forward to other Burn the Ship podcast with other brand owners and events, and we'll definitely keep collaborating.
I think you guys have got something really cool here, and that's why I'm privileged you guys having me on today. If anything I can do for you guys moving forward, by all means.
Same, and we appreciate PF and Legends and everybody else. And of course, here at Legend Studios, you might want to talk about one big family.
We were in here envisioning maybe this turning into just a podcast room. I don't know. But anyhow, no, I appreciate the kind words, man. This is it's been cool to hear different people's stories. You know, I didn't have to say a word. I could just listen to you talk all the time. It's super inspiring, and you know, everybody's got their own journey. But at the end of the day, I think there's a lot of overlap, and we're really just trying to do good and have control over our destinies. You know,
Absolutely.
so we want to be a platform if we're just an inkling in that growth, or even just sharing the good vibes. You know, we're grateful to be a part of that. So appreciate you guys taking a little time out of y'all's day. I know it's nonstop for you guys and swinging by and hanging out. Big shout out to Miguel. Smoking the stogie, have a nice little drink. Always good.
Yeah, this to piggyback on what you're saying is that you know, I know I'm the one out here speaking for our company right now, but it's a team effort.
100%.
And I want to, you know, I'm just out here because you guys need somebody to come out, and I was excited about doing it and getting the word out. But everything I get comes from our guys and our team. You know, it's not there's only not one person in our company grandstands, and that's what gets me happy about it. You know, Carl gets on the truck with me and makes deliveries ourselves. Our first stop for Brookshire's, when we opened up Brookshire's, it was Carl, Miguel, myself, Demetrius, Michi, and we all just got together and hit the road, and KJ was with us for a little bit, and it was cool just to get all hands on deck, and then people come in and, is that Carl in the hand truck?
He willing to ship it in?
You know, absolutely, and that's where that's what we pride ourselves on.
Right.
You know, I've sat in many conference rooms. Oh, what's Carl like? You know, well, hold on, well, here he comes.
Yeah.
Oh, he's here. What do you think's gonna happen?
Yeah, right.
You know, I'm blessed with a great supporting staff, which is another reason why I come to work every day and try to do the best I can.
Oh, yeah.
And so we have great suppliers, great team. We make mistakes, but we recover from them and pick each other up.
Yeah. It's part of it, right?
All right, we're good. We're gonna smoke some cigars and relax the rest of our Saturday.
Appreciate it.
Thanks to everybody back here. Put it together. I appreciate you.
Hell yeah. Catch you on the flip side.